Feeling awkward on people is something that I struggle with a lot in my life. Like, I'm still in school. I'm 16 years old, so I'm still in school. So I've experienced it a lot, especially since I've gotten some improvement, and I've started being like to some extent differentiating myself from other people, becoming less normal, thinking a little bit differently than most students. I started even noticing a bigger and bigger gap between me and the people in my class. And I used to use that as an excuse for me to be awkward in class, for me to not necessarily become comfortable when I'm around my classmates. But then I remember the time a few months ago, a few years ago, when I just had gotten into some improvement. What was really, I really had an aloof personality. I would just joke around, have fun, not necessarily be a Jeffrey, no. But I would just joke around in class, joke around with my friends, joke around with classmates, and just be that funny guy. And that was just a fun time to have, instead of just being bored in class, bored in school, sitting there, not have anything to do, and just wish that I could get back home as soon as possible. So yesterday, I was in class and I managed to unlock that personality again that I had hidden for a few years now. And it was a very fun experience because I was at least social in school instead of just being that lonely guy that's on some improvement sitting there and being fucking bored. And the way I actually unlocked it is, I would say, by social lubrication, by warming up to that. I used to think that the reason why I was awkward in class was because, oh yeah, maybe it's because I don't really like the clothes that I'm wearing, or maybe I'm not confident enough yet. Maybe I need to do more work on confidence. But no, I'm going to take a quick example before I explain this to you. Imagine you want to try to see what's your PR on the bench, or you're just trying to work out on the gym. You know you have to work out, like to warm up first. You have to do some dynamic stretching, and then warm up with lighter weights, and then slowly build up to your working sets. That's the same thing when it comes to social situations. You feel awkward because you haven't warmed up to the point where you can actually feel really social around people and talk and talk and talk and talk to people around you. So you need to warm it up first, and especially start with things that feel a little bit less awkward, but that still feel kind of awkward, like saying hello to people that just see on the street, or people that you see in school, or people that you see in work, or people that you see in the gym. You just say simple hello with a little wave like this. You do warm up with simple things because you're trying to get straight into the point where you're super social and talk to people around you. But imagine that person that's always talking to people around him, that's always really that fun guy and a social guy around people. That's the type of guy that when he walks past people in the street sometimes, he would just randomly talk to them. So warm up like that. When you notice something about someone that you would like to compliment about them in the street, even though it feels kind of awkward, just say it to them. Just say it to them. You say, oh yeah, you have a cute dog or something like that. Oh yeah, I like that jacket. Even though you don't know that person at all. That's a good way to warm yourself up. And when you do that a lot of times throughout the day, and you just become that social guy, you just talk randomly to people. You just say what's on your mind. The thing that you will actually keep it in here, you just say it to people, even though when you don't know them. At some point, you get into what's called like a social flow. You go into a state where you know that state that you have sometimes where you're super social, but you don't overthink at all. You're not overthinking at all, and you're just saying what comes out of you, like what you think about. You're just saying straight what you're thinking about. The super, like in a flow state, it feels effortless to be social around people. That's where you get into a social flow, and to get into it, the reason why you got into it is that maybe circumstances warmed you up. So you didn't necessarily try to warm yourself up, but thanks to circumstances, you got kind of warmed up, and got into that social flow, and you were able to then just be that super social guy talking to people around you. But you can't always wait for circumstances to get you into that social flow. You need to put yourself in that social flow yourself if you want to be into that social flow every single day. And you get into it by just warming yourself up, by just saying hello to people around you, and interacting, like doing some small interactions with people around you, and sometimes forcing yourself to talk, getting yourself from that anxious situation by just talking to that person. And then when you do that a few times in the morning, at some point you'll get to be so warmed up that you just instantly get into a social flow and just be talking to people and be like a breeze, super easy. Without thinking at all, just talking, and you're being that funny guy, that social guy. But you need to warm yourself up first. By just doing some small things, and then slowly building it up. And at some point, you'll be in a social flow. That's what happened to me yesterday. It was built up. And yesterday was built up not intentionally, it was more unintentional. And at some point, I was just a social guy in class, just a funny guy. I would just move around and I don't really think at all. I wasn't thinking at all, and I was just doing things, doing some random things because I wanted to do them. And it was a way more fun experience than just sitting there in class thinking, oh my god, I want to be out of here. Oh, I want to go to the gym. Oh, I want to go work. Of course, I want to do those things. But if I'm forced to sit there, at least I want to be social. Because like social skills and flirting skills, dating skills, people don't, a lot of people in some program space don't seem to realize this, but those skills are very, very, very important parts of self-improvement. They are parts of your self-improvement. So that lone wolf mentality of just sitting there and being awkward around people and saying, "Oh yeah, it's just because I'm on self-improvement. Oh, I'm so misunderstood. Oh my God, no, they don't deserve to be my friend." Of course, they don't. Don't be friends with people that you know are below you. Don't be friends with people that you know aren't high quality people, aren't on your levels, I could say. But be at least social because it's part of your self improvement. And at least open your eyes to being able to meet new people. Because how are you going to know if that person is on self improvement or is productive if you never go to talk to them and you're just awkward and you just expect that you will attract those things without going to them? Do you expect to be able to attract girls just by not speaking to them at all and just waiting for them to come to you? And you haven't trained your game at all. You haven't talked to women around you at all. And you just expect them to spawn in front of you. You expect to make friends by just waiting for them to spawn in front of you or something like that. No, you need to go to them. You won't get anything if you just wait for it. You need to like to go get it. You want new friends, improve your social skills. Talk to people around you. Be that social, fun guy. And to do that, you need to lubricate yourself. I know it's a weird word. That you need to warm yourself up in the morning by just doing some small gestures around people, interacting with people, complimenting some people, smiling at the waitress, smiling at the guy at the gym. So just being that social guy, social butterfly, and you warm yourself up to the point where it just becomes automatic. And then you get into that social flow, and you're not thinking at all, and you just interacting with people without thinking. You're just a fun guy that people like to be around. I think that's a way better personality to have. So yeah, really hope you got work from this video. Don't worry from discomfort. Chase it.